Hello and welcome back to our podcast, Cry, Laugh, Eat, Making Friends with Your Emotions. I'm Helen.
And my name is Ruth. Welcome back. And today we're looking at 4 reasons why feeling uncomfortable is the best thing ever. And we're not talking about discomfort from overeating because that is not the best thing. We're actually referring to emotional discomfort. And we all feel it, but it's a fascinating thing how we just kind of ignore it. Helen's going to share a really cool experience that she had with discomfort. I love this tale.
So recently I got asked if I would do something for someone, and what I was asked was actually something really valuable and a great way to spend your time and very helpful to someone else. So it was a good thing. As soon as I saw the message, I actually had an uncomfortable feeling, and it wasn't just, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
It was, that's so good, but I don't know what to do because that doesn't feel quite right. So in the past, I've been a person that says yes to many things and then wear the effects later because I'm exhausted or I've taken on too much or should have been there for my family, things like that. So this time I had guilt because I thought, I think I need to say no to this. And then I felt guilty. So I spent a bit of time thinking about it. Okay, what's the best thing? I've actually got a really busy day that day. I'll probably be free at that time, but I have a very full weekend with some important things I have to do and want to do. But I sat and thought about, okay, I know my end, what's most helpful. I definitely know it's helpful to the people who'd asked me. And then I thought, okay, there's someone else involved in this. What's the best for them? And I thought, that doesn't need to be me. I'm not actually the best person for this situation. Then I fell to guilt again, started to feel guilty. I started to reply to the text and then thought, I'll just put it aside and think a little bit more, push away this guilt a bit. Then I talked it out with my husband, heard his thoughts, and then I thought to myself, I actually said a little prayer, if I'm really honest, and the word that came to me was boundaries. And so I took some time then to think about boundaries. Okay, if I had boundaries, what would they be and where do I need them? I don't just need them here. And I had a good think about it. And by the time I'd thought about that, I thought, I know what I need to do. And I replied and said, I won't be able to do that, but I'd love to do this other thing for you instead. And you could call upon me for that at any time because that's something I knew I could do from home and do it quite easily. And it was so freeing. And I shared it with Ruth this morning, and she knows me. I'm a yes man, a yes gal. And she was, well, you tell me what
I just wanted to do cartwheels because Helen was actually looking after herself.
Yeah.
The orange light had switched on. Discomfort had switched that orange light on, and it does for us. And remember, we've said the last couple of weeks that the orange light, when it switches on, it's saying something needs your attention. And I just love, Helen, that you stopped and you processed that. But I think going back to the beginning, you said something like you just felt a bit uneasy.
I did straight away. It's so interesting because that's the thing I would normally ignore. But straight away, there was a feeling of, I think that's just too much. I have a big load already in things that I do in my life. I think that's not right for me. And I would easily not listen to that once upon a time.
And I think we said earlier that sometimes, actually a lot of times we'll feel discomfort, but we'll ignore it. So there's a few questions we just came up with that you can stop and ask yourself for a minute. And Helen, you already referred to one of them. The first question was, am I feeling uneasy or tense right now? And when you ask yourself that, that also helps you to check in with your physical state because often discomfort is felt in tension. You feel tense. So stop for a moment, and if there's tension, it's discomfort.
And that's the thing, that is so easy to ignore in that you can quickly wipe that off with thinking, you're so selfish. Someone needs your help. You're so selfish because you're considering not doing it. I love what you're saying, that feeling of uneasy and that tension is a message from your emotion.
Yeah.
Whether you're going to say yes or not is irrelevant. It's listening to that, isn't it?
That's right. Discomfort or that emotion is giving you information and it's saying something needs your attention, just the orange light. So another question you could ask is something off or not quite sitting well with you? And it's that general sense of unease, which you felt, wasn't it, Helen? Wasn't it? Didn't you, Helen?
I missed that.
Oh, boy.
Yes, in my situation, definitely. Sometimes that off feeling and something not sitting well with you could be something very different than what I'm talking about. You might be with someone and something they're saying doesn't feel quite right to you, or something they're doing, or somewhere you've gone, whatever it is.
Another sign of discomfort can be answered by answering this question: am I avoiding something or someone? That question helps you to recognise if you're trying to steer clear of a situation or even a person, like you mentioned, Helen, that causes you to feel some unease.
That very thing that you're feeling, that unease, that discomfort, means you need to look at why.
Very much so. And another simple question you could ask yourself is my mood suddenly different or off? Because rapid changes in mood can sometimes, for example, rapid irritation or anxiety, that can signal that something or someone is making you feel uncomfortable.
And that's not something that we should ignore. It's not a healthy thing to ignore those signals, is it?
No. And so feeling uncomfortable is a natural part of life. We're all going to feel it regularly. And while it can be unpleasant, it also has tremendous benefits. And we want to look at some of those benefits. We would like to just explore for a little bit the next few moments just 4 reasons why feeling uncomfortable is such a good thing for you and me.
Yes.
And us and the world.
Everybody. The first one is personal growth, where we grow and we change. Sometimes something asked of us or something we have to do actually can help us grow. Sometimes it's not right for us. When we look at the discomfort, we realize there's a message there. But sometimes we're uncomfortable, and that might be fear-related. We're just scared to say you have to do a new task at work or start a new job or give a talk.
Oh, I just thought of an example of that. When I was younger and sitting music exams, piano exams, practical, and it was so uncomfortable. But it pushed me out of my comfort zone, and there was so much learning and growth in that, not just musically, but emotionally as well, and helped me to develop confidence. So, yes, some discomfort is a great friend in that sense.
Yes, because sometimes the discomfort comes because the situation is new to us, like the job or the study, the things we don't know we have to learn, but they help us grow.
And that's what I saw in you with your experience this morning, Helen.
Yeah, and going on that personal growth, what it helped me learn about myself, well, I've learnt previously and so tried to remember it this time, that I have a pattern, and the pattern is to make the other person comfortable. So I'd say yes, because if I said no, they might be uncomfortable, which was not always looking after me. And so personal growth has come by learning that pattern and realising that's not a healthy pattern. I want to change that.
So changes, isn't that fantastic? Positive
and
changes,
growth,
healthy
yes.
changes, yeah. Our second one, which I also saw this morning when we were speaking, Helen, was that facing uncomfortable situations can actually build mental and emotional resilience. So discomfort can help increase your resilience, making you stronger in the face of future challenges. So that in future, Helen, now when you are asked to do something and you feel perhaps a slight discomfort, it's not going to last. That's the warning, that's the orange light. But you know now how to approach that, and you will make sure that you take care of yourself as well.
It makes me think of going to the gym. So when you discomfort, but
Not for us, for others.
we have no discomfort. If you see our photos, we are super fit. But you increase your resilience and strength when you go to the gym. When you use one of the machines that's a weight-bearing machine, at first it can be uncomfortable as you increase the weight, but the result of that is always strength and resilience. If we ran from the discomfort, we might never go to the gym. We might go to the donut and cream shop. So discomfort is not always bad.
The third reason that we believe discomfort is the best thing ever is because it helps motivate you to find solutions and to think creatively, and you develop new problem-solving skills.
I think sometimes you can shut down, oh, that can't be done. And I have a fun memory that I'll share. Once when my kids were young, we wanted to build a cubby in the tree, a cubby house. We lived on acreage and we had this old pallet. You know, a pallet is made of wood and they put bricks and heavy things on it. So the kids and I, and the oldest was 10, so there wasn't a lot of muscles between us all. But we decided that we'd try to lift that pallet into the tree up to the branch. And of course that was not going to go well. And the kids got really disappointed. So we were all uncomfortable and it was like, oh, it's not going to work. And I remember thinking, never tell me never, kids. And creativity bounced out. And yeah, we came up with a way to get a rope, throw it over the branch, tie it and tug it up. And we got that up there and they had the best little cubby. And that's the end of my story.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, so our fourth and final reason that we believe discomfort or feeling uncomfortable is the best thing ever is because it's a motivator, a powerful motivator to change something in your life that either isn't working, or whether it's a habit, a person that you associate with, an environment, or even a mindset, which is what you worked with this morning, wasn't it, Helen?
Definitely.
It was a tremendous motivator for change. And now tell me, Helen, now that you experienced discomfort and you worked with it and you listened, you stopped when you felt that orange light and you saw it as a positive thing, how do you feel different now in terms of feeling discomfort and for future situations?
Well, something I realised, because feeling uncomfortable is never pleasant, but working through it and using my creativity, using my thoughts, it wasn't half as hard as I've always made it out to be, to let someone know what you really feel and what you really need. And I also realised you can do that with such kindness, and it hasn't changed the relationship at all. In fact, I got a beautiful text message back, and I was honest with myself. It was lovely.
I love that, because most times when you approach those situations in that manner, there is self-respect and there's mutual respect, actually.
I love that, because that's what I hadn't thought of. My self-respect feels stronger because I respected what I knew deep down but have often squashed.
So just recapping those 4 reasons we believe being or feeling uncomfortable is the best thing ever. Number 1, discomfort pushes you out of your comfort zone. It provides positive growth and learning. It increases your resilience, so you're stronger for future challenges. Number 3, it helps you to problem solve in a creative way and develop new skills. And number 4, it's a powerful motivator for you to change something in your life.
We've shared these things today about feeling uncomfortable. And we want to invite you to stay tuned for next week's episode, because we're going to go into 3 ways that can help you know what to do when you do feel discomfort. We're going to start with what happens if we don't listen to discomfort, and then share 3 ideas to help you know what to do with that discomfort.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Have a wonderful week.
Talk to you next week.
Bye.
This reminds me of back to our first. Start again.
Third.
Our third episode. This reminds me.
Great elocution.
Yes. Execution.